Welcome to our Global Village TV show today, and thank you very much for joining us. We are airing today from JBS Center, and we are very thankful to the city who provided the venue. We have two great guests, Reg Radke, the housing chair of the housing, Brooks Housing. Welcome, Reg, to the program.
Thank you.
We also have Sasha. She's the CEO of the Newell Housing. Sasha, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so Reg, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, I came to Brooks in 2004 for a job with Medicine Hat College, and worked with Medicine Hat College as the manager director of the Brooks campus, and worked there until 2016, and I retired. And the last few years, I've just been involved in volunteering in some different organizations and things around the city of Brooks. And yeah, so that's about all.
Good, thank you. So you came 2004.
Yep.
Wow. Were you born then in the province?
Yeah, I'm native Albertan. I was born in Hannah, Alberta. I've lived a big part of my life in central Alberta, in Olds, and sometimes in Edmonton and Calgary, but yeah.
Wow.
Short grass, prairie boy.
Oh. Hannah is smaller than Brooks.
Yeah.
It's called Hamlet, or is it town?
It's a town still, yeah, still a town.
Okay. Yeah, Sasha, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been in Brooks for 22 years now, and with the Newell Housing Foundation for 13 years. I have my 13th anniversary this month.
Wow.
And it's been really good. I started off with Newell Housing Association prior to our amalgamation, and I worked there as their administrative assistant and their bookkeeper, and then took over as their CAO.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job. Yeah, Reg, tell us a little bit about the Brooks Housing.
Okay, the Brooks Housing Society, I'm not sure exactly when it was incorporated, but Brooks Housing Society provides affordable housing in Brooks. We currently have 87 units, a mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. And people who are eligible to live in these units, we are guided by the provincial income threshold. And if people are below that income threshold, based for each bedroom, each size of bedroom, then they're eligible to live in our units. We sometimes think ourselves as a transitional housing, so people who are making less money than the income levels can live there, but if through good fortune and hard work their income starts to increase and it goes over those limits, we gently have to push them out. And so we do that, but then they've had time to learn how to budget, to learn to save money, and hopefully find other accommodations. So that's one part. And then we have a number of residents that live there for some time, again based on their incomes. So like with 87 units, I think we have probably about 225 people, adults, children living there, kind of at any one time. And we have a waiting list. There's a great demand for affordable housing. We're very, very proud of our facilities. We think we have a neighborhood there that looks good and is attractive and is a real asset to the community. And particularly now, there's continuing demand for housing, and particularly affordable housing in our community, much like any other community. And so we're now looking at trying to expand and build some more units. And we're just currently looking for funding support to do that. The City of Brooks has been a great partner for us. When the first phase was built in 2001 and then later 2009, the city had gratefully provided the land to us. And again, for this new expansion, again, they've provided the land, sold the land to us for $1. So it's a great partner. That's a huge, huge step for small organizations or any organization that's trying to develop housing and affordable housing particularly. So big thanks to the City of Brooks. So yeah, we operate the Brooks Housing Society on what I believe is a good, solid business model. We pay all our taxes, full load taxes, all our utilities, all our operating expenses. We have a property manager, and we're still able to accumulate each year a little bit of capital reserve. So we think it's an excellent business model and provides a tremendous service to the community. The Brooks Housing Society is governed by a board of directors. Currently, we have 7. And a broad representation, and really appreciate the other directors on the board. We have a representative from the City of Brooks sits on there. Sasha sits on the representing Newell Housing Foundation. We have the executive director of Community FCSS sits on our board. We have other community members, past business people, current people living in the community. So yeah, we really appreciate the board, and it's a nice, diverse board to provide lots of experience. And as I say, we have a property manager that we contract as well.
Yep. So in other words, someone has to be qualified based on their income.
Yes, yes, and so they have to provide us with their income statements from the previous years through Revenue Canada documents, and yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Reg. Sasha, tell us a little bit about the Newell Housing.
Sure. So the Newell Housing Foundation was established way back in 1960. We currently have over 354 units of housing in Brooks and Newell region. They range all the way from senior supportive housing to low-income housing for families in our area. And we also have seniors apartments. We have housing throughout Brooks, in the town of Bazzano, the village of Rosemary, the village of Dutchess, and the hamlet of Tilly as well. And we also administer a rental assistance benefit. For most Albertans, housing costs are the single largest monthly expense they face. And so this rental assistance benefit helps to offset the cost of persons who are renting in the private market, who are paying maybe more than 30% of their income towards their rent. They're then eligible for this benefit to help them pay their rent as well. We have 41 family houses throughout the city of Brooks that range from 2 to 4 bedrooms. And there's continually a wait list for those units. They're in high demand, especially we're seeing a large demand for the larger units in our area.
Wow. So the same thing with the Brooks Housing, so it's based on their income.
Yeah, so the rents in most of our housing are rent geared to income, which means the people who are living in our housing are paying 30% of their income towards their rent, and the rent changes when their income changes to make the rent affordable for the people living there. And they do need to be below those Alberta core needs income thresholds in order to qualify.
So very much different than the Habitat one.
Yes, very different.
Yeah, the model of Habitat is the person will own the house, or
Yeah, that's an ownership model.
ownership model.
A help-up supported ownership model.
But they still have to pay the mortgage.
Oh,
Correct.
yeah, owner, like as any owner, yes. Any
Oh.
homeowner, yes.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, Reg. So every community have a housing issue, which affects also the recruitment and retention of employees, and affects also the employers not able to hire people from within Canada, let alone coming from outside Canada. having people coming from outside Canada, that's going to be impossible because there's no housing that they can be able to accommodate. Within Canada is also a challenge, people moving from other places within Canada. How do you see this dilemma, especially in our area? What do you think in your own mind provincial and federal can help or can assist in terms of the housing crisis?
It's a big question. Well, I think many of the programs that are in place already through the federal government, through their agency, the Canada Mortgaging Housing Corporation, and through the provincial government, through Alberta Seniors, Alberta Housing, are good and helpful. And I guess all I can say, without getting into details of all those programs, is hopefully those support funding programs stay in place and they can be expanded. Housing in any community is provided, across a broad range, from private developers to small landlords to organizations such as Newell Housing or ourselves, and there's a place for all of those types of housing in all the communities. And so the municipalities, can contribute as the City of Brooks has done in many cases to provide the land. That's a tough question to answer, like what is needed. In our particular case, as a smaller not-for-profit organization, one of the challenges is the front-end development and design work that's a struggle to find the necessary money. So in order to qualify for CMHC mortgages and even private bank mortgages or provincial programs, those funders want to know what's your design, what's your cost, what's your operating budget. In order to do that,
It costs us money.
organizations such as ourselves have to hire the engineers, the architects, do the environmental scans, do the utility efficiency studies to come up with that initial basic design and then forward that to the funders. And so that's a big step that it's time consuming, it's costly, and if somehow all of those two agencies, particularly the federal and provincial government, could assist in that front end financing, that front end support, we don't have any issue. We feel we will qualify for Canada Mortgage and Housing Mortgage. We will qualify for a bank mortgage, but to get to that stage where we can put our plans on the table and say, here's our cost, here's our business plan, there's a lot of work to be done, and that's a real challenge for small organizations like ourselves.
Because that will cost money.
Yeah, absolutely. Several $100,000.
Wow. So if you get grant to do that, would that give you a possibility of forwarding that the same one to different agencies for consideration?
Absolutely. And
or it has to be done one time and then another one, or it just can't be done one time?
Well, just one time, and you can use that information to provide to a variety of funders. And right now we've made an application for a grant to do that work through the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. That grant will give us 50% of the total, so we'll still have to put up 50% of the cost of that. And in our particular case, it's approximately $300,000. So we've already committed $150,000 of our own capital reserve to do that front end work.
Wow.
So there's some money available, but it's time consuming and costly for that front end work. Yeah.
So let's hope maybe the province or the federal can partner with the small organizations such as Brooks Housing or Newell Housing to get that front end solved issue, that issue as a whether grant or or some sort of partnership with Brooks Housing, because this housing has to affect a business at the end of the day, especially rural area, compared to a Edmonton, Calgary. I can't speak for it, but I think the same issue, they're having a problem, but rural area is more than the large cities.
Well, the issue that I'm talking about is there for large developers too, but largest private developers and larger organizations have that financial capacity to do that initial front end work more so than smaller organizations, which tend to be in smaller communities.
Yeah, that's the point I was making. Yeah, I think small areas
So,
also have
anyhow,
a challenge. Yeah. Now we hope through the province and federal government something will come up. Especially now you guys have submitted to the Federation of Municipalities. That's a good step. So, Sasha, just
to interrupt, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities have received 600 of those applications across Canada.
Whoa, 600 applications.
So just to put that in perspective,
Wow.
in terms of echoing the demand for housing across the country.
Well, all I can say is good luck. 600 applications, that's very huge, yeah. That's huge, yeah. So Federation of Municipalities, much different than the Federation of Alberta Municipalities then.
Yes, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, yes.
Okay.
And they have membership from all the provincial
And territories.
municipalities, yeah.
Yeah, Sasha, the housing, Newell Housing, as you know very much, I think, especially for the newcomers, they do have large families.
Yes.
And that's also another challenge also for the Brooks Housing. I think they have a large family. So is that something also might be consideration for maybe future to build such accommodation that will be able to hold some of these large families?
Absolutely, that's something we're looking into. We know that most of the homes in our region are 3 or 4 bedrooms, and we have some families that have maybe 8 or 9 children, and those homes aren't big enough. So it is something we look at when we're looking at modifying the homes we have now, maybe that have incomplete basements that could possibly be converted, and also with new builds, we want to look at adding some of those larger units in to accommodate those families.
Wow. Yeah, I think that will be also a challenge.
Yes.
As you have more new people coming, it is important to consider the large families coming with a large number of children.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's so you mentioned that you have also a housing in as far as Tilly and other places. Do they have also the housing issue also in the Newell area?
Yeah, I think even the smaller areas are feeling the crunch of lack of housing, especially lack of rental housing in the villages and hamlets surrounding in the county.
Wow.
I know for Tilly and Bazano, I believe they have a 0% vacancy rate right now in their rental market, and there's very, very few rentals available.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think it's not just the bigger urban centers and the rural, smaller cities, it's also the really rural areas like the villages and hamlets that are experiencing this housing crunch.
Wow. Reg, if you happen to have that new development, would that be expansion on the same area that you are in now?
Yeah, yes, it'll be just adjacent to our current property near Meadow Lake and in the eastern side of Brooks. And again, the land that was donated by the city. So it'll be very nice if we can build on that location right there.
In the same area.
Yep.
Okay. Any also a consideration of Newell Housing thinking of building new houses?
The Newell Housing Foundation is currently in the process of applying for some grant funding through the Alberta Health side to build some continuing care spaces in the town of Bizano. We're looking at building a 14-bed care home there through the Capital Small Home Stream. So we submit that grant application this month, and then we'll hear back in the spring.
So you also run the seniors house, right?
Yeah, we run the Newbrook Lodge in Brooks and the Playfair Lodge in Bizano, and then also the seniors apartments throughout the county
Wow.
and area.
Wow,
So-
that's important also for the seniors. So those also they have to be qualified.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
For the seniors lodges, it's not as much income based as it is based on age. You need to be over 65 to reside in the lodges, and the rent can be adjusted if you are a low to modest income earner and you have a lower income. We can lower the rent in those lodge settings as well to make it more affordable.
Oh, wow, that's good, and they do have a nice buildings.
Yeah, and there's nice buildings. There's meals, housekeeping, recreation.
Wow.
So yeah, they go on outings. So it's very nice.
And I think the city provided the library, what used to be the library before. Are they not now the senior?
Oh,
It's
the
not-
Prairie
that's-
Pioneers.
yeah, it's not
different.
I know it has nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
they
saying
have their Prairie
they can
Pioneers
go,
Club.
They can go their seniors also.
Absolutely.
If they need to, but in the same building you have everything in there.
Yeah, we host bingos and bands. We have clothing and shoe sales come in, and card games and all sorts of things. We have a really great community in Brooks, so we have a lot of the church groups and school groups come in to interact with the seniors for some intergenerational programming, and it's really nice seeing all the groups come together.
I think I think that should continue because I think they have sacrificed that is a moral obligation from society for the seniors to be taken care of.
Yes, absolutely.
After they have done a lot of sacrifice, what we have today. So that's very nice of you and your team, and hopefully you will continue. The last question I have for both of you, especially Reg, as a youth that is just coming out from the high school that wanted to succeed in life. Life is not sometimes a straight life, sometimes ups and downs. How would you what advice would you have for that youth in terms of building their career and reaching their potential, knowing that that takes time? So what advice would you have them to continue the path of success, whatever success they have in mind or potential that they want to achieve?
Another big question. You have lots of big questions.
Yeah.
I guess for young people in particular in the later stages of high school or recently graduated, and if they don't have that real desire or maybe financial ability, whatever, to go into post-secondary training, education, wherever, but even if they do, to try to seek out, try to find some mentors or role models in the community, through friends, through whatever kind of connection network, and just explore possibilities. There's so many career options now, such a broad range of career opportunities, and I'm sure it's confusing for young people if they're not quite sure what they want to do. Even attending post-secondary, again, if you're not sure, you can go down the route of general studies to get started. But if you can find someone to talk to, older family member, friend, somebody that in the community that you can connect with and speak to and get an idea of what's out there, and get an idea of kind of the path that you have to go down and the plan you have to make to go through all those steps. But yeah, talk to somebody. You've probably been talking to your family, maybe, but see if you can find those role models or those people who have kind of been there, done that, and you're comfortable talking to it. And to help with that, maybe it's your counselor high school, maybe it's a not-profit organization in Brooks, even like Global Village. Find out somebody to talk to and get an idea of how, what, when, where. Yeah, it's a big challenge for youth, for young people.
And be patient.
Well, yeah. There's no magic rainbow. There's no magic paycheck. There's no magic money on the table. It takes effort and time. And
No, that's well said. You want to add?
No, I would just say try and find something you're passionate about. If you like what you're doing, it makes your day a whole lot better. And set some goals and make sure what you're doing is getting you on the track to those goals. Absolutely.
No, I think well said. I think it's to be patient is the most effective way also to achieve your
find
goals.
Sasha and talk to her, ask her questions. She's a tremendous role model.
Yeah, she's a role model. I think you've been now with the Newell Housing for a time, and I think it's has a great positive impact in the community.
Oh, thank you.
And that shows the true leadership of yourself. So sometimes people doing great things cannot say they're doing great things then because they're going to praise themselves, which is not nice. But yeah, I think the community is aware of, and we can say that you're doing a great job, and we hope you continue for years to come.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
hope so too.
Yeah, no, and that is the reality. So you're doing a lot of not only newcomers but also local Canadians who have shown a lot of thanking to you. And I remember when we had that food hampers that a couple of the seniors came, and they were very happy that you connected with them, and I think you delivered also those,
that was nice.
the food at the time. So they were very happy. So that's what makes somebody smile. You know, you're doing something for other people, and that is what makes someone a great person. And our hats is off for you, though we don't take hats, so we just say our hats off for you. But thank you very much, Sasha. Thank you very much, Reg. You're doing great job even after you retired. So housing is a huge issue, and you are very passionate of the housing of the community, and you are always there when the community needs for help. So hopefully we other colleagues or friends will see your footstep and follow your footstep of giving back to the community. That's important, and also important for their for health. Volunteering always helps the mind. You create your own social net. You create your own networking. So I think that's a prime example. That's why you've been awarded that. I think it was Citizen
of the Year.
Citizen of the Year.
That's right.
That was congratulations again. This is the first time in a TV show to say congratulations. We haven't said that, but we said in private.
He was also recognized provincially as a Star of Alberta for his volunteer contributions.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much for both of you coming to the studio today, and we hope to invite you next time. So we kept all the tough questions next time.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Ease us into it.
There you go. Yeah, so we will leave to the next one, next visit. So thank you very much for taking your time.
Thank you, Ahmed, for having us.
No problem.
Thanks, Ahmed.
Thanks, Reg. Yeah. No. This is the end of the program today. Thank you very much for joining us, and until then, God bless everyone. Bye.